Just if you can.
Stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. 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 Seasons change, but you're the same. Your love is constant. You've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. 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 I am a lucky one.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I'm your host on the show this afternoon. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir.
And Speedy Talk is a program for the youth where we talk about things that concern and affect the youth. And I hope you're having a wonderful day this Wednesday. And, now today let's talk about something that many of us, have come across on social media. That is social media pranks. At one point, pranks used to be simple jokes, between friends, something harmless that people could laugh about afterwards. But these days, social media has changed the game. People are creating content every day, competing for attention, or maybe competing for views, for likes, comments, and shares. And because everyone wants to stand out, some pranks have become bigger, louder, and even more extreme. Sometimes someone scares a stranger in public. Sometimes maybe records another person, without their knowledge, in bad positions that will actually set them up for trolls on social media. Sometimes people create situations that embarrass others before revealing that it's a prank. Imagine someone having a bad day and then all of a sudden you show up to them and do something maybe that will completely break their hearts, and then later reveal that this one is a prank. Sometimes people pretend to be in distress just to see how others will react. And in some cases, people go as far as even damaging property, causing panic, creating public disturbances, or even putting others in uncomfortable situations, all in the name of those prank and then content. The interesting thing is that while some people see these pranks as harmless and then entertainment, others believe that some of them have crossed the line, because behind every prank is a real person, someone's emotions, someone's reputation, someone's time, someone's safety. So today on Speedy Talk, that is what we are going to be talking about: social media pranks. Why are social media pranks becoming more extreme, and where do we actually draw the line when it comes to these pranks? Because you find a lot of young persons, because they're the ones who are so active when it comes to trying to create that content, draw engagement to themselves, things like that. But then why are these pranks becoming more extreme, and are there actually dangers to it that we fail to recognize? Now you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868.
That is 090-3648-5868.
We are talking about social media pranks today on a Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. Why are the pranks becoming more extreme? When you see a lot of people, especially people who are, even someone who was maybe not even in that content creation field or anything like that, one day they suddenly wake up and then discover that if I do a prank like this, or if I do something like this, then I'm going to draw a lot of engagement, to myself. People are going to follow, there are going to be likes, and there are going to be views, things like that. But first, let's hear you on these social media pranks. Felicity, have you seen maybe things like that, or is it just me that have been seeing a lot of things that should not even be called pranks?
I have indeed seen a lot of pranks on social media, and some of them are very outrageous, because these pranks actually put people at risk, and some of them actually humiliate people, embarrass people, or they just put people's health at risk and all of that. And while some people actually laugh at these things, because to some people it's like comedy, but we have to think about it, because it's not a prank is good, because it can be good in different situations, because pranks make people laugh and all of that. But there are some times where we have to draw a line, because there are some pranks that I believe are too serious. For instance, if you just there's this prank that they do every single time on social media, that people will just start running, or let me just say you are just carrying somebody, like you just come and do boo. But what if you actually do that thing to someone and the person falls, or is somebody that has a heart problem, and you could actually put the person at a health risk. So I think some pranks are good, only the ones that can make even the person that was pranked laugh afterwards. But then there should be a thin line, especially if it's going to put somebody at risk.
Okay, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this afternoon. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Felicity Girgir,
and we are talking about social media pranks. Why are people getting so creative and going to the extreme when it comes to these social media pranks? Have you seen maybe some of those pranks that then you would say that you won't want something like this to actually happen to you? Imagine having a very rough day, and then you're out there, someone is trying to do a prank for their own views, for their own engagement, at your own risk. Just like you said, Felicity, about imagine someone who has maybe heart problems, and then all of a sudden people make a prank and say they're coming, and then start running. Especially with the world, the way the world is these days, and then you just make people maybe stumble, hit each other, fall down to the ground, do a lot of things.
And some people will actually start running without even checking their surroundings if they are safe.
Exactly. And at that point it's like a normal thing for a human being to just react, the way that they are, and then struggle and all of those things. So why are social media pranks getting so extreme? Why are we pushing it to that point where it becomes even dangerous, for the people who are supposed to be enjoying the pranks? Now, number for you to call is 090-3648-5868.
That is 090-3648-5868.
Social media pranks. That is what we are talking about this afternoon on Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. So call in and let us hear from you. If you've maybe even been in that experience, you've experienced something like that before, and then someone tried to prank you, even on the road, or you've even seen someone else, you watched that actually happen on social media, and then you thought that wasn't okay. Let us hear you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, you're on to Paul Abba.
All right, welcome to the show, Paul Abba. Where have you called us from?
I'm calling Makodi.
Okay, welcome.
This topic is very, very commendable.
Thank you so much. Go on.
Thank God the way you put it, you say it has become extreme. people have been infringing on people's rights just in the name of pranks. So we cannot actually imagine where it will take us in the nearest future. So let people that make content just to make their personal end be guided, so that it will not be as if social media has become abusive on people's human rights. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul Eba, for calling in to be part of the show this afternoon. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on your show this afternoon. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Felicity Girgir.
and we are talking about social media pranks. Why are they becoming so extreme? Why are they going to the point where people even get hurt? A lot of things can even happen. Like, why are we taking it to that level, especially when it comes to the young people? Because they're the ones who are all over. When it comes to that, doesn't mean it excludes every other person, but then it's more like it's a thing these days to want to draw attention to oneself on social media. Everybody wants to go viral. Like, it doesn't matter what I am going to do, and someone even comes up with something. And sometimes not just the pranks that maybe they do to people physically on the road. Sometimes maybe people come up with a whole storyline, like, oh, this person like this did this to this person, and then bring it online and make people to pour out emotions,
Yes.
and maybe even make people to contribute money, because these days any small people are contributing money for another person,
yes.
and then even make people to contribute money only for you to come out and, oh, it's a prank, I wasn't actually sick, or I wasn't actually this, it was just a prank. At what point do you know what it took someone maybe to even come out to maybe contribute that or do things like that for you? So you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868.
That is 090 3648 5868.
And our caller Paul Aba actually agrees that the problem is not the prank itself, is where people are taking it to.
Yes.
Because maybe
Yes.
The initial intention was just to make people have a little laugh, because there are so many things to worry about. But then when does it become a point where it even becomes maybe even threatening? Different cases, different pranks. If I tell you pranks that I have seen, I cannot even explain all of them. There are some that I immediately see and it's not funny. So Felicity, why do you think that people go to extreme, these days, just to pull off these social media pranks?
The first thing I would say is people are looking for views and attention on social media, like you said earlier, because social media rewards content that gets attention and engagements, likes, shares, comments, and all of that. So people are looking for ways to get views, so that they believe that the best way that they can get these views is to create content or pranks that are more shocking, more surprising, or dramatic, just to get those views and attention. So I feel like that's even the number one reason why people are creating or pranking other people is for those views. And another one I would say is competition for viral content, because a lot of people are actually creating all this content online these days. It's everywhere. So some people just believe that the more outrageous their prank is, the more likes and the more engagement it will get, because everybody just wants to actually make it on social media, and they want their content to go viral, and they want to earn from it. So I would say they are competing with each other. The more likes I will get, how am I going to get these likes? And then they just believe that the best way to get the likes is to create something that people are not even expecting, but it's actually putting others at risk. So I'll say that that's another reason.
All right, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show this afternoon. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I'm here with
Felicity Girgir,
and we are talking about social media pranks. You also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090 3648 5868.
That is 090 3648 5868.
Why are people taking social media pranks to become so extreme, where it even gets to affect other people, not in the way that they're actually laughing about it again? Felicity, I actually saw a prank recently where they tried to scare someone, with a snake. They tried to scare a lady with a snake, and that lady was pregnant. Imagine me coming out maybe and finding
a snake.
Imagine that. And she fell down, and luckily she fell like on her back, but imagine someone like that even hitting their belly. How
Yes.
that woman is already
Pregnant. She's
is already
heavy.
pregnant. Exactly. But then you set somebody up in the name of it's a prank, and then you just have to come out later and bring the microphone. Oh, it's a prank. And
But
then
it's not actually funny
expect the
because
person to even
to
laugh
laugh.
from it. And it's sometimes they kind of shocked sometimes, maybe not because someone will even be physically injured, but then imagine you causing some kind of shock because you were trying to be funny, and then
Yes.
even blow your page, because that is like the main. No
That's
one
the
comes
main,
out
yes.
without a reason.
Without a
You finally
reason.
find someone. You hardly find someone who will come out maybe just to make someone maybe just laugh. You hardly find a lot of people like that. But with the way that people are swarming with the whole pranks and like they're taking it to another level, right? So you also can call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 09036485868.
That is 09036485868. And I actually think that there's been a change. I don't know if it's because people are growing and this is a different genre, but I feel like coming up, pranks were not this serious. I mean, a prank would just be like mixing sugar and salt. Maybe you just mix sugar and salt in salt in somebody's food, or just hide somebody's belonging just to see how the person will react, and all, or just harmless tricks. But these days it has gotten really, really extreme, and I just keep wondering why.
These days that everything has become for the camera,
Exactly,
that has become for the
everything has become, because then these pranks were just for the people that were present. It's not even for the camera at that time. It's just for the people that are present, and it was very, very harmless. But now people are actually put at risk, and people are playing with other people's emotions as well.
Now there is also this thing about someone maybe wanting to do charity or gift other person, and imagine coming up to me and then collecting my phone and smashing it because you want to give me a new phone. What do you know? What is this time my phone? Like, do you know
Exactly.
what I need that phone for? But why can't you just do the charity or gift what you want to gift without maybe destroying somebody's item? Someone will just commit a prank and then take your phone
And smash it.
it.
It doesn't make any sense.
That trauma alone, whatever you give me at that moment, to be honest, whatever you give me at that moment, I don't think it will be able to erase everything that I felt, all the emotions in that moment. Or sometimes, maybe you go to a market woman and then whatever she's selling tomatoes and you just pour everything on
Just
it.
pour it
That
away.
could actually be useful. Because you want to pay her money that is way more than maybe the amount that she has actually set on the table, like maybe more than the tomatoes. It doesn't mean you have to waste those things. So you're pouring gari on the floor because it's just gari. You don't want her to sell it again, or you don't want her to maybe hawk it again. Why do you have to throw it away and then wait and make sure? Some people even try to test someone's patience with that. Like, if you poured my gari on the floor, what are you expecting? Am I supposed to be calm? Like, okay, hello? All right, you can still call back and be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 09036485868.
That is 09036485868.
It's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, together with
Felicity Girgir.
and we are talking about social media pranks. Call in and let us hear from you. Let us hear your opinion. Let us hear your experience if you've ever been caught up in one of those prank experience. Hello? So call in and let us hear from you. And I was talking about sometimes when they are looking for those reaction, like if you poured my gari on the floor, you're expecting me to just stand still. Hello?
Hello,
Yes, good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Uncle Mike. I'm calling from Boko Road.
All right, welcome to the show, Uncle Mike.
Yeah, this topic is quite commendable.
All right, thank you.
In fact, it's worth discussing severely because it has reached level where these pranks have cost a lot. What it has cost is more harm than good. If possible, I think the government can even look into the matter where they could even sanction some. Well, I've watched prank where somebody is being affected physically, and then the next thing is sorry, it's a prank, and then the person is hurt or thereabouts. So I think there should be limit. Prank shouldn't lead to where somebody runs into a gutter and then the person gets hurt, or runs into the road and then the vehicle knocks the person down, and you're telling, oh, sorry, it was a
just a
prank.
prank.
It was a prank. No, it doesn't make any sense. It should be like the one that you people are discussing there now. For instance, you see where you want to do, you want to help somebody You could just go there, play, maybe ask the person for money, and the person gives you money, maybe, and then later you come back to say, oh, I was just pranking you. I came with bigger money to give you. Things like that. Not the situation where you cause harm. Government should even look into it, where there should be sanctions and then cautions to all these things.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Mike, for calling in to be part of the show this afternoon.
You're listening to Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm your host on the show. My name is Felicity Girgir, together with
Marysyntia Hangeior.
And this afternoon, we're talking about pranks, because before there was a time where pranks were not so extreme. Pranks were simple and harmless things, such as just mixing sugar with salt, or just exchanging both of those things. And now the pranks just seem more extreme, harmless tricks and all of that, but these days is more extreme. I saw a social media post where a pregnant woman was pranked. You already said something about a pregnant woman, but actually this could actually jeopardize her pregnancy. What if she actually hit her stomach? This one was even a different one, because she was just walking on the road, and then they just did the whole bull thing. I think that's even the most popular one. You see somebody who just hide inside bush, and then you are just coming, and then the person will just come out to scare you. But what could actually happen? Maybe there's a gutter behind you, and you fall inside that gutter. They are not thinking about the risks. They are just in the name of pranks for social media views. And you can also call in to be part of this conversation, and the number for you to call is 090-3648-5868.
That is 090-3648-5868. It's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and social media pranks. That is what we are talking about. You know something else, Felicity? You just reminded me of something so extreme too. Hello? Something so extreme that I also saw. That one, they pretend to maybe end someone's life and then be dragging the person out of the bush. I don't know if you've seen that, just to see if someone is bold enough to pass that direction, you know. And some of these things, you know, just like people have been mentioned, there are different effects. You have mentioned some of them about putting people's life at risk, and something else is still putting maybe people in bad position, because maybe even this one of you beg someone for money. Some people just dress up and then go and beg someone for money, and then why not focus on the person that gave you the money that you want to reward? They will focus on the anti. I saw something like that where that woman was now set up for trolling online, simply because she did not give help to the person that all dressed up like a mad person, and then went to beg her for something, and she didn't give it. And people said online, this is how they be wicked. That's why the business is not moving. Because do you know if she has it? And even if she has it, what if she does? That is someone's basic, like, that is their own right, right? That is something that they should decide. Do I have enough to give at this moment? So why not focus on that person? You know, as harmless as that prank could be, just involving the other person and then setting them up. And you see the way they edited the video, it was more like focusing on that woman, the way she turned away, you know, when she did not give. You don't know what she's going through. You don't know what everyone is going through, but somehow putting people in bad light, so that, oh, this man is even a rich man, and then we wanted to prank him and then beg him for this, and he didn't give. Do you know if you are meeting that person in the right mood? Because people forget about these things when they come up,
because people are going through a lot in their life. Everybody has what they are going through in their person's own life. And then another prank that I usually see on social media is there's this person that always dress up like a mad person. I don't know if he's a he or a her, holding a long cane and chasing people up and down, and people are running, and she's trying to like
hit them.
Yes, hit them. But what if that cane actually hits somebody? It's not going to be a joke anymore.
It's not going to be
it's not going to be a laughing matter anymore if it actually touches somebody.
And even talking about how it affects, imagine a situation like that leading to even fights. Something
exactly.
It was just a joke.
It was just a joke. But it's not going to be a laughing matter again. And you were saying something about if you like push my means of livelihood to fall on the floor, am I supposed to laugh? Exactly. The reaction is going to be anger, and you don't know what that person will do to you, because some people actually have very, very severe anger issues. They could hit you or something, and then it's not going to be a joke anymore. It's not going to be
just like Uncle Mike says, you know, there are ones that are actually harmless, but then you know that it's more like there is this term where we learn in school, you know, for mass communication, it's bad news that is good news. So when people see something that is extreme, maybe something that is more shocking, that is where maybe the views actually come in. So that is what people would target instead of actually considering the people involved, how they are going to feel, how it's going to affect them. So you can still call in quickly and be part of this conversation. Before we go, we are talking about social media pranks, and tell us how you think that this actually affects a lot of people. We have mentioned some, we've heard from different callers mentioned some already, but you also can call in and tell us if maybe you've had these experiences or you have seen something extreme actually happen. Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868.
That is 090-3648-5868.
And we have also been streaming live on Facebook at Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makudi. So you can watch live on Facebook and even leave a comment if you have something to say. We are talking about social media pranks, you know, how does it actually affect? So Felicity, where would you say we should actually, people should actually draw the line, you know, based on the things that you have seen, your opinion, where should the line actually be drawn when it comes to social media pranks?
I will actually say that where the line should be drawn is before you even create any content, you should actually think about people's emotions. If you see that this content is going to put anybody at risk or humiliate somebody or embarrass somebody or a person's dignity, then you should not play that kind of prank, because it's putting somebody at risk, emotional risks, health risk, all of that. You should not. I think the line should be drawn there. Anything that can harm somebody, the line should be drawn there.
Okay, so it's about considering, you know,
Yes.
the other person's feelings, what situation that is going to put them in. And also one thing I think that I think that some persons actually know that this is going to put someone in that situation,
Yes.
but because of the whole I want the views, like they have to edit the woman's face and make sure that people start pushing certain narratives, and people are so gullible that the moment this some of these things come online, like they start pointing hands. Imagine she's so wicked, she couldn't even give that person, even if it's 50 naira. Hello. Okay, we cannot hear you, but it seems like the person is talking, but still we cannot hear. Hello. All right, you can still call us back quickly if you're able to catch up with us before we go. It's social media pranks, and this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. How does social media prank actually affect, you know, people? And then where do we draw the line when it comes to making it so extreme, you know, things like that? Where do we actually draw the line? Number for you to call is 090-3648-5868.
That is 090-3648-5868.
Social media pranks. Everyone has probably seen. Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, what is your name?
My name is Divan.
Divan, where are you calling from?
Not bad.
Okay, thank you. We are talking about social media pranks. What do you have to say?
I've been seeing it online, and that's a very risk, because people that have heart people, they say the process of that, and the war happening in Nigeria is so harmful.
Okay. All right.
In fact, that's my own.
All right. Thank you so much, Divine, for calling in to be part of the show. You're doing so well. Divine says the world is not actually something that you play about certain things, you know, these days, because people can easily get scared and someone could faint. What are you going to do at that moment? You know, what are you going to do at that moment? So he thinks that going forward, you know, it's to actually consider other people before making some of those pranks, because it could get someone in real trouble. And I think that is when some people would learn. But we shouldn't wait for it to actually get to that point. So we said, you know, going forward, it's like when someone's safety is put at risk, then it is not a harmless prank anymore. It shouldn't be. When someone's reputation can be damaged, it is not a harmless prank anymore, or even publicly embarrassing someone, and when it targets maybe vulnerable people just to get those reactions, then it is not something okay again. And you know, all of those things of maybe even putting people in situations, some of them that they will see and not be happy with, those aren't pranks anymore. So that is it for Speedy Talk today. we have been talking about social media pranks, and to what extent to how extreme they have been going these days, and where we can actually draw the line when it comes to these pranks, and then it becomes when it can still be referred to as harmless, right? And I've been your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and I've been here with
Felicity Girgir.
And also coming up next at 3:55 p.m. if today is your birthday, then Speedy Kids are going to be wishing you a happy birthday. And also up next at 4 p.m. the Speed Lane comes on right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And until then, keep enjoying music of your life.
Hello, my Cootie. Asking Radio is here.